Yes, it's real. It's real this time. December 19th, Miami, Florida. Anthony Joshua, AJ versus Jake Paul. Now, before we chop and screw this thing with our critiques and our and our doubts, right? I have to give Jake Paul credit, man. If this fight actually comes into fruition and there's no script allegations, hey, man, him fighting Anthony Joshua is serious. And he's seriously about to get his butt kicked. Jake Paul's about to get Francis Ngannou'd. I'd have blissed him if I was... Oh, my God! Oh, my God!
Hello, guys. This is Rolly Romero.
Yo, my name is Nonito Donaire. What's up, guys? Designer's Eyes.
Here with Bob Santos Boxing.
And I rock with Dr. Boxing Talk.
I want to give a quick shout out to Dr. Boxing Talk.
And I want to give a big shout out to Dr. Boxing Talk. Thank you for all the love. Thank you for all the support.
You're rocking with Dr. Boxing Talk. Get your daily news from my man right here, the best in the business. Let's get it, baby.
All day, baby.
Amen.
Bam!
If I tell you I'm good, probably you'll say I'm boasting. But if I tell you I'm no good, you know one line.
Yo, what's good, Boxing Talk family? Welcome back to your favorite boxing news channel, Dr. Boxing Talk. And we have a big one today. You know what I'm talking about? Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua is a legit pro-sanctioned fight. BTF rise up, man. Now, there's going to be a little skepticism, right? Of course, and that should come with it because it's Jake Paul, right? So that's always going to surround him, right? Suspicious of, is this a real fight? Suspicious of, is this actually going to be AJ trying? Suspicious of, is this actually going to come into fruition? If it does, I want to say this, man. Hey, I have to give Jake Paul credit. Now, I'm not saying that you actually have to consider him a real boxer because he was about to fight Gervonta Tank Davis. But I do have to give him some credit because let's not forget, Anthony Joshua, in addition to being a unified champion, former unified champion, he is a gold medal Olympian. You see what I'm saying? He's a legitimate contender. I don't care what he looked like in his last fight. He was stopped by Daniel Dubois, but that was Daniel Dubois, a former heavyweight champion. Now they're like, here goes some stipulations, right? It is an 8-round fight, right? But it is 3 minutes because it's a pro-sanctioned fight. So that's okay. 8 rounds. I'm cool with that. You know, it is December 19th, which is a month away because today is November 17th, which seems a little odd, seems a little rushed, but I don't think it matters. You know what I'm saying? They both have enough time to prepare for each other, especially with Anthony Joshua. He should already be prepared for Jake Paul. But in addition to that, it's also 10-ounce gloves. I'm okay with that too. But there is something that Anthony Joshua has to abide by that he's not really accustomed to abiding by, right? Being at the heavyweight division, it's unlimited, you feel me? But he has to come in. He cannot come in higher than 245. So he has to be 245 pounds or under. He does have a weight limit, which is odd for heavyweights. But, you know, it's Jake Paul. They have to put in some type of stipulation. I'm not mad at it. But if you think about that, though, I also have to point out that Anthony Joshua hasn't weighed under 245 since his second Usyk fight. In fact, both Usyk fights were 245 and below, but all of his fights subsequently after that, they have been above 245. So for your listening pleasure, we are now on Spotify under Dr. Boxing Talk. The same thing on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, Spotify, everything. Dr. Boxing Talk, man. Come rock with us. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. So is he going to struggle to make weight? Maybe a little bit, but even still, I don't care, man. The fact that Jake Paul and Anthony Joshua are fighting, I think is crazy. Now, you could be a little skeptical, right? And say maybe it's Jake Paul, an act of desperation. Maybe he's just really desperate. And that could be the case, you know. But I also want to remind people that Anthony Joshua was a target before Gervonta Tank Davis was. You understand what I'm saying? So first, initially, the target was Cinnamon, right? Canelo. That fell through because Turkey Al-Sheikh, you know, he intervened and intercepted the pass, you know what I'm saying? like a cornerback. And then, so that was out. And then he wanted to fight Anthony Joshua. But that fell out because, as you know, Anthony Joshua has an exclusivity deal with DAZN. He cannot fight off of the DAZN platform unless they negotiate something. So Jake Paul, part of that negotiation would probably be forfeiting some of the money. And so he didn't want to do that. So that's when he went to the next guy, which is Gervonta Tank Davis. And what do they all have in common? They all have in common that they're huge revenue generators. They're big for the boxing economy, right? Those are the 3 biggest stars, with Cinnamon being number 1, Anthony Joshua and Gervonta Tank Davis being 2 and 3, interchangeable, really. But, you know, once the Gervonta Tank Davis one fell through because of lack of interest, in the combination of also Gervonta Tank Davis getting into some run-ins with the law, you know, a domestic violence case, right? That fell through. And then so now he pivoted back to Anthony Joshua. And they made a deal to have a compromise between Netflix, where Jake Paul wants to fight, and DAZN, where Anthony Joshua is accustomed to fighting, right? So I'm assuming they made some deal right there where DAZN gets some of the pie, and it's going to be on Netflix. It's going to be in Miami on December 19th. And well, hey, man, we'll see, man. We'll see how it goes. Like I said, though, man, if Anthony Joshua doesn't do Jake Paul like he did Francis Ngannou, I'm not going to lie. I'm going to think something is up. Something's a little fishy. You feel me? But I will say this, too. Speaking of Francis Ngannou, I think Francis Ngannou Jake Paul. So if Anthony Joshua doesn't do what Francis Ngannou, what he did to Francis Ngannou, and does that to Jake Paul, I will think something is up. I'm going to be honest. But I will say this as well. You know, a lot of people, speaking of Francis Ngannou, a lot of people were very hard on Francis Ngannou, right? They were like, oh yeah, Francis Ngannou, he's stupid for not taking the money. And I just want to tell y'all to slow down, man, because some people have integrity. I'm not saying that Anthony Joshua or anybody that fought Jake Paul doesn't have integrity, but I'm saying some people draw a line in the sand and they will do things and won't do things. You know what I'm saying? If you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. So I'm not mad at Francis Ngannou if he's saying, hey man, I don't want to join the circus because I don't think it's real combat. You know, this is not what I signed up for. I want to fight the best. Remember, he fought Tyson Fury, he fought Anthony Joshua, but I see a lot of people, quote unquote experts and pundits and everybody having an opinion on Francis Ngannou's decision. He said he doesn't want to be involved with fighting Jake Paul. There's nothing wrong with that. You shouldn't be offended by it. You shouldn't be put off by it. But I just want to show you the contradictory of people, though, because if he would have fought Jake Paul, what would they have said? They would have said he would have joined the circus, but then he denied it and he didn't join the circus. Now they have a problem with that too. That's why you always have to be in tune with who you are and always please yourself, as long as you're not hurting anybody, because no matter what you do, you could bend down and tie your shoes. They're going to judge the knot that you tied your shoe in. You see what I'm saying? They're always going to judge something. So I'm not mad at Francis Ngannou not taking the money. I mean, it's his money. Whether he took the fight or not, were you going to get paid? Probably not. So just shut up. You see what I'm saying? Now we got Anthony Joshua. So Anthony Joshua versus Jake Paul seems like it's real. Like I said, don't hold your breath, but I think it's legit, man. And I got to respect Jake Paul for taking this fight, because this is a very dangerous fight. Regardless of how you feel about Anthony Joshua, he's still a former unified champion and a gold medal Olympian, man. So December 19th, less than a month. I think this is crazy news, and shout out to them for getting the deal done between DAZN and Netflix and Jake Paul and Anthony Joshua. Jake Paul said that he would fight Anthony Joshua, and he's actually going to do it, man. So we'll see how it goes. But Anthony Joshua said he's going to knock him out and break the internet over Jake Paul's face. Let's see what happens. I appreciate y'all rocking with me as always. Of course, let me know what you think about that in the comments. Don't forget to smack that like button. But most importantly, remember, with God, we can do anything. Without God, we're nothing. The doctor's out. Peace. Also, check out Doc's Corner, the newsletter. Oh yeah, we writing them journals too, baby. Be there or be square. The link will be in the description. Holla at you. From the hood to college, both worlds they had to meet. 6 degrees between us, so cold we're about to freeze. But we're Florida boys, hot takes, we bring the heat. We're moving the culture, the engineers to the streets.